Hello everyone, and welcome back. 2 weeks ago I saw a video made by New Potato XD about the new city that everyone is talking about, the Oxagon.
It's not even pink, this is raw!
He made a smaller version of it, so I decided to make it 7 times bigger than the original one. This video took a while to make, so if you like what you're seeing, please hit the like button and destroy the subscribe button. So without further ado, let's jump into the video. I chose the only water region to be able to customize it the way I like. I named it the Oxagon and generated the region. I decided this time to name the regions the names of anime characters.
Oh shit, here we go again.
I named them Itadori, Luffy, and Bleach. I'm sorry I didn't find anything for Bleach because I haven't watched before.
Oh, hell no, man. What the fuck, man?
The first thing I did is measuring the size of the map to be able to make the Oxagon right. I marked the edges with roads and started making the outer edges of the Oxagon. After that, I destroyed the roads and placed land under them, because I wanted all of my roads to be at the same level. I placed roads on the land and started working on the land half of the city. After that, I marked the edges and a place for the harbor. I used the dark asphalt to make the harbor area. I did the same thing on the other side and made a river, because there was a river in the photo. After that, I made the island in the middle of the map and filled it up with land. After that, I marked the place where am I going to put the residential and commercial areas in. The map didn't look that good, so I made some adjustment to make it look better. After that, I started filling the area I marked with land. I spent 5 hours trying to find a mod to help me finish this faster, and I didn't find anything. I found... Some people may suggest me to use the fill tool, and I'm not going to use this tool again, because when I was filling the areas I marked, the game crashed and all of my progress I made got lost. So my only option is to do this all again manually. I finally finished it, and now for the other side. I filled the other side of the map and filled the island in the middle. This took much more time than I expected. After that, I started smoothing the land by the sea, to make it look better and to make it look more realistic. I realized that the river was too big, so I made it a little bit smaller, and made it smoother after that. I changed the land outside the Oxagon into sand because it's a desert after all.
You're goddamn right.
And now for the fun part. And what I mean by the fun part, that this is going to be a nightmare. I first started by marking the places where I'm going to put the roads and try to make it look good as possible. I placed the roads on the places I marked with land, and started working on the place where I will put the zones on. And I want to mention that this took over 4 days to make. What I did is making a small squares of land in the areas I marked with roads, and left some water tunnels in the middle of the squares for the boats to be able to move between the houses. I placed them in different patterns and sizes to add more details and depth to it. After I finished this side, I have gone to the other side. After I finished it, I realized that this looked like a real city layout.
Hey, that's pretty good.
I started placing the zones after that. I placed them in a way so every place I marked with roads have at least 2 commercial areas. And now for the services. I started with the fire stations, police stations, and the hospitals, and after that I placed this very long tower in middle of the region. And to be honest, it was very long. Longer than Burj Khalifa. After I placed this tower, I wanted to get the molecule water plant. So I tried to place the DSA headquarters when I realized it looks different for some reason. And when I placed it, this thing showed up.
What the hell is even that?
I don't know what the hell is this, but I'm not going to question it. I placed the research center and researched the advanced supplies. I placed 2 of the molecule water plant in the edge of the Oxagon, and realized that Theo took all of my power. So I built some energy plants. I built some football stadiums, and let me tell you, this took a very long time to find a place large enough to put this thing in, because all of the areas I made was very small to be able to put something this large in it. And I built some crematoriums. I wanted to place glass walls on the outer edges of the octagon, and I realized very quickly that this is not going to work. I watched a slideshow and made a place for the harbor in that residential and commercial side. I raised up the demands after that and waited for the city to build. 1 down. 4 more.
1 eternity later.
After I finished the other side, I started working on the island in the middle. According to this image, The island in the middle is a residential and commercial area, so I have gone with the good old grid for the middle island. I placed all of the services and parks and waited for the buildings to appear. After that, I started working on the industrial area on the land side of the map. I used the grid again because I am lazy.
Oh, really?
And placed 2 towers on both of the regions, and waited for the buildings to build. And of course, it went smoothly. Very smoothly, in fact, that not even a single fire started in the middle of the industrial area because I forgot to put fire stations. After that, I started working on the harbor on the residential side. I have gone with this design. I put some parks and 2 ships and some roads in the middle, and I think it looks very good. I've gone to the other harbor and started building. I placed a lot of crane cargo. I placed a lot of them for the giant ships I'm about to build, and I placed a lot of cargo containers. A lot of cargo containers. I used those blue buildings as a storage to store the goods. I've gone to the other side and made the same thing. And of course, nothing got on fire because they are not on the range of the fire stations. And I started destroying the unnecessary roads on the river and make an opening for the ships to arrive. After that, I started building the ships. I found this model when I was scrolling on the plugins. And to be honest, this ship looks very nice. It looks very good. And finally placed the bridges I saw on the image to connect the middle island to the oxagon. I finally finished it. I present to you the oxagon. This city was a nightmare to build, but I enjoy the building it. If you liked what you saw, please hit the subscribe button and also the like button for more content like this. And this is for today's video. I hope you enjoyed it, and goodbye.